What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the corner. I am the DM as always, and today I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I'm sure all of you have already seen this lovely thing right here. And you probably already know about all the controversy and everything, but I want to talk about it. I want to give my 2 cents because absolutely nobody asked me to give it. So over here on Game Ranks, or Game Ranks, whatever, Ubisoft suddenly cancels Tokyo Game Show plans for 2024. Now, this is something that was released today, where they canceled it. Now, I don't read or speak Japanese, so I don't know exactly what this says, but basically they're saying, right here. So they're saying that they're going to cancel it due to various circumstances. Um, and they're even canceling the stream that was scheduled for the 26th at 3 p.m. This, they say various reasons. Now, we can speculate as to what reasons those are in particular. However, we all pretty much know exactly the reason why, and it's because of this. Now, in this article, they talk about how they got thrashed over this, and for me personally, when I first saw this, without any context, the very first thing as an American that popped into my head was nuclear bombs and what America did with them when we went after them in World War II. Now, for those of you who do not know American history or Japanese history, I don't blame you. Um, Basically, what happened was the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor with some suicide bombers, and the next day, America officially entered World War II. Sometime, I think it was pretty shortly thereafter, we decided, or the president decided, to authorize the use of nuclear bombs in the war. And this led to the bombing of Nagasaki with an atomic bomb. The bomb was so powerful that it didn't just destroy the city. It basically vaporized everything that it touched, to the point where living people were in an instant wiped from existence, their bodies, their remains, everything. And the only thing that remained of them was a shadow of where they used to be. You can look this up yourself. I don't particularly enjoy seeing those kinds of images, so I'm not going to bring them up. Needless to say, it was an absolutely horrific act of violence that came with the war. It was an act so grievous that the Emperor of Japan effectively immediately ended the war and signed a treaty. I believe this happened after Nagasaki. I might be getting my dates a little confused, and I do apologize. In fact, before I even say this, I'm going to do more research than Ubisoft ever did, which is any. Okay, yes. So the treaty was signed in somewhere like a few years afterwards, basically. And it basically ended Japan's ability to have a traditional military. And it was a treaty that was signed as a direct result of the nuclear bombs that America dropped on Japan. The one-legged Tory Gate is something that is effectively a symbol to the Japanese, and it is effectively a warning to the entire world about the devastation that atomic bombs can have. Whenever anyone sees a one-legged Tory Gate, I mean, One-legged, not one that's been damaged by weather or time, ones that have crumpled due to age, nothing like that. No, 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 no. Because generally speaking, those are not one-legged torii gates. Um, Additionally, none of them have had a cultural impact like the one at Nagasaki. End of story. And so whenever anyone sees a one-legged torii gate, the very first thing they think of is Nagasaki and the atomic bombs that were dropped on it. So, for Ubisoft to go and make this, it boggles my mind as to how this was approved at all. This is the most culturally insensitive thing I have ever seen in my entire life. This one figurine is the sole reason that this happened. Now, over on Twitter, you have people absolutely lighting them up, such as this person saying Ubisoft including an artifact from a nuclear detonation, a one-sided arch, or a one-legged torii gate in what promises to be the biggest bomb of the year. God is a stand-up comedian. No, God had nothing to do with this. Because if he did, this would have never happened. You have people like Madam Savvy here who say that the consultants they hired were too busy focusing on transgenerational relationships and basing things off historical vandal. The comments are interesting, and this is one way, this was a sad way to learn this. 3,000 people working on Assassin's Creed Shadow, and this is what they have to offer. This is the best 3,000 people can do. Maybe fire the bloat and get some actual historians and do better. Here's the thing 3,000 people didn't work on this, they worked on the game. The people that worked on this were Ubisoft's DEI team. That's who worked on this. And then they commissioned it. And the people who created it did not realize that this was what was going to be meant. Now, whether this was done intentionally by Ubisoft or not does not matter at all. You have over in the Japanese side of Twitter, you have this person saying to please spread the word about this, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company, which, I mean, yeah. A figurine of a destroyed torii gate has been released, which is believed to be based off the one-legged torii gate that was destroyed in the Nagasaki atomic bombing. I've never seen a one-legged torii other than the one destroyed by the American atomic bomb in Nagasaki. Over here, you have France is probably the devil's country because they even mocked their own mass Christians with the Last Supper of the Monsters. Now, if you didn't know, yes, Ubisoft is actually based out of France, thankfully. And then over here, you have another person from the Japanese Twitter saying Ubi says they studied Japan when they released Shadows. They haven't released it, but it's close enough. But I think it's more accurate to say that they studied material that would insult Japan. It's disappointing. Here's the thing. Ubisoft did not do any actual research on Japan. If they did, they would know that Yasuke was never officially promoted to the rank or the title of samurai. He was given a sword, sure. He was given his own land, sure. He was afforded things that the traditional slave was not. Sure. However, Yasuke was never a samurai. End of story. So to say that they did any research at all is giving Ubisoft simply too much credit, because they did none. What they did was they hired a man who made up everything about Yasuke being a samurai. They went with everything he said without validating anything. And then when asked, what should we do as a figurine to commemorate the upcoming release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, they decided to go with the most culturally insensitive thing you could possibly do. Because they didn't just make the figurine a broken, one-legged Torigate. No. They attached it to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which Japanese Twitter has already lit them up about. Now, if we continue to go over here, you can see there's some back and forth. We have this guy who made a response saying, if you search Broken Tori, you'll find other photos of destroyed Tori gates with only one leg left. So it's a bit of a stretch to say this was intentional hate speech. And then here's the thing. You did a really bad job of making your point. Now, I understand what his point was supposed to be, that there are many examples of broken Tori gates. However, down here is not a Tori gate with one leg. It's a Tori gate with two. Or a broken Tori gate with two. Now, down here, he links to an ArtStation account, which has this, but again, not exactly the same as this one, right? This one is very clearly just one leg of the Tori gate, and nothing else, no other remains from the Tori gate, right? So, again, not a very good example. And if you continue scrolling, down here, you'll say, even if unintentional, the one-leg Tori gate is a reminder of the devastation caused by the Nagasaki atomic bomb. Atomic bomb, not nuclear bomb. But so the use of the design was undesirable and should have been avoided if possible. It should have been avoided at all costs. And if this is the argument, they agree. And this was this person that first replied to this tweet right here. So even if the intention was not to use the Tori gate at Nagasaki, even if it is supposed to represent something else, that something else does not matter, because the only thing people are going to think of, both from normal Twitter, or the rest of Twitter, I should say, as well as the Japanese side of Twitter, the only thing people are going to think of when they first see this is the Nagasaki Tori gate. It's the first thing that's going to come to mind, because it's the most iconic and most symbolic Tori gate in the world. So for them to use this as a marketing ploy to try and sell figurines linked to Assassin's Creed Shadow, which has already been heavily criticized and slammed for the cultural insensitive message, or the culturally insensitive message that it's trying to put forward, is simply insane on the part of Ubisoft. Simply insane. And them pulling out and saying that it's for various reasons is only being said because it's a PR statement. And Ubisoft, you fucked up with this one. Like, this was already bad. But there are a lot of people that would be like, whatever. I'm still going to play it because it's an Assassin's Creed game. And there are going to be people who, even now, after this, are still going to be like, I don't care. I'm still going to play it. And there are going to be people who play it to spite those that are upset over this. And at the very least, going to buy it to spite them. And I know that because as a spite move, that is why I bought Hogwarts Legacy. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the big ones. So I know there are going to be people that buy this game just to spite people who hate it. And in truth, for those who are surprised by this, you really shouldn't be. Because this is a trend that the gaming industry, at least the AAA side at the very least, and even some indies, this is a trend that has been going on for a very, very long time. And hopefully, the next set of games that comes out, after all of these massive, hopeful flops, like Concord, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and like many others that have come out recently, hopefully the next set of games will be ones geared towards gameplay and making and telling a good story. Because this is on a level of cultural insensitivity that would be like if a company from Germany made a game about an Arabian cowboy and they released a figurine where they were standing on the remains of Pearl Harbor with the destroyed Twin Towers in the background. That is the level that we're talking about here. Because not only is this game supposed to be historical and have historical accuracy, as Ubisoft has touted, but the Nagasaki bombing didn't happen for several hundred years after the time frame that this game is supposed to have taken place. Now again, is this broken torii gate in this figurine supposed to be the one-legged torii gate from Nagasaki? Maybe not. But the first thing people all over the world are going to think is that it is. And at the end of the day, that is all that actually matters. And with them pulling out of the Tokyo Game Show, it only lends further credence to it. And honestly, it really shouldn't surprise anyone that this kind of thing is actually possible, whether it's willful ignorance or not. As Agent K once said, a person is smart. People are stupid. So, that's all I have for this video. Thank you all for coming to my corner. I've been the DM. If you liked the video, hit the like button and hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button and leave a comment letting me know why. And I will see you all tomorrow.